Aquarius, hi, come on in. It's great to see you just in time for your Aquarius February 2020 reading. A couple of announcements just before we get underway. The first one is people have been asking me, do I do personal readings? Well, I do. I've been flat out doing them for a long time, but I've made some extra time by rescheduling some other activities that I'm involved in. And so if you go to the description box, you'll find my email and you can email me and we can take it from there if you'd like to have a personal reading on FaceTime. So, because it's probably unlikely that you're in my city. Now, the other thing is that I'm going to start uploading the videos in the first week of the month from now on. So next month will be in February for March, and then the first week of March for April, and so on. So that's a good thing for you, and it should be a benefit to you, I think. Look, often people ask me what is the artwork that's behind me, well, in short, it's this. And so there you go, if you were curious to know what that is. Okay, let's get things underway for you, Aquarius, and we shall see what is the general theme for you for this month. And it is Father Sky. Now, the indigenous art on here is something that you need to concentrate on when we get to it in just a second, because that is going to absorb itself into your psyche and it will make itself known. So I'm going to now draw 3 playing cards, which I'll probably do at the end of the tarot section, because they can provide, because the tarot is going to be quite mystical, I think. Just a look at this deck here, I actually have a very mystical response to it. So we'll see what the 3 of these are for you. There's the 9 of spades. There's the 10 of clubs. And what's here? There's the 6 of hearts. That's good. And we shall see what they mean. Now let's get some tarot cards quickly for you, and then we'll get the reading underway. Let's see what this is. The 6 of flames. Gee, that's a lovely energy I can feel around that. It's just coming into me around that 6 of flames. Well, there's a couple here. So there is the Ace of coins. There is the Daughter of feathers. Gee, there's a couple of things that have come out here. Well, this one has definitely jumped out, so I am going to take that. It's the Star. Now, there's 3 here, so there's too many, so they are going to go back, and in fact I'm going to pull the last one from in here somewhere. Here we go, whatever that might be. 6 of coins, abracadabra. Okay, why don't we now get together, have a look at all of these cards, and I'll quickly tell you what they mean for you. All right, my beloved Aquarius, let's have a look at this primal energy that's coming from the depths from past the 3 veils of negative existence, where words and language no longer exist at all. What is your first reaction to that image? Your first reaction to the image is one that you should explore and ask yourself why you had that reaction. Do you know, Father Sky, I'll tell you the story of Father Sky and Mother Earth, Gaia. They were locked in embrace and copulated to produce life on Earth, humanity, vegetation, fish, animals, and everything. The Mother Earth, Gaia, nurtures and supports, and Father Earth expands out, providing air to breathe and ease and room to grow and become yourself, and to explore why you are here. It's a very interesting thing if you contemplate it deeply. Let's have a look at this card here. This is the first one you drew, of course, and it is fantastic. The Six of Flames. Well, for me, the astrology of it is Jupiter ruling the second decan of Leo, about the 2nd of August to the 12th of August. Now, Jupiter is all about love, expansion, and philosophy. And combining with the creativity of Leo, you have success in achieving your goals. Now, Leo is ruled by the sun, and I'm looking at this number 6 here. Now, for me, mystically, the 6 for me is also associated with the sun, and so you have a double dose of the sun illuminating your path forward. So there's balance and harmony here. Now, Leo, the constellation, gives you confidence and creativity, while Jupiter bestows expansiveness and allows you to develop and to become whole. It really is a card that I call the Lord of Victory. You'll have victory over past troubles, although you'll remember them. You will defeat them and become stronger. All is well. You have worked hard to get where you are. You'll have high self-confidence as a result of Leo, and you will improve your learning and understanding, which is very important to you, I know, as a result of Jupiter being in that energy. So let's have a look at this card here, which I think is one that you were destined to draw this. This card is, of course, the star, and for me it is Saturn ruling Aquarius, with Neptune, I think, exalted, tremendous. Now, as you know, Aquarius is all about, well, the individuality and uniqueness, and yet with you there is an overall humanitarian outlook, isn't there? Well, the star shares these qualities in that it is trying to remind you about the divinity and uniqueness which is within you, and it is encouraging you to be a conduit for bringing down your highest potential. Really is a fantastically beneficial card for you to have. I think what we can say here is that you will find that you are fulfilled, inspired by life. You'll be open to love, and you should trust creation and all that it brings. And I think that encouragement is now being given to you, that although you may have had testing times in the past, now is the time to move forward with renewed hope and live an inspired life so that you can express yourself fully. And as if to hammer home that point, you have also drawn here the Ace of Coins. Now, for me, coins relates to material life, to the materiality of it. It is the root of the powers of the earth. Now, I think there could be some people who are important to you during this time, and I think those people may be a Taurus or an Aries, probably a Gemini also. This is the beginning of something tangible. There is here the seed of prosperity and growth for you, and also for improving finances, which may even in time lead to material abundance. It's certainly a card of very good luck, and I think that there is a distinct possibility that you could have some unexpected money coming your way. Now, in the workplace, I think you might have additional responsibilities, but those for which you get compensated for, which is more to the point, isn't it? Because we don't like to be given more work and then told to work harder, but given no more money. But I think that this could mean also a new promotion or a new source of income, or there's certainly a new beginning in your life. Now, aces represent new beginnings and opportunity. And in the suit of coins here, in the suit of earth, I think it relates to your work projects and new business. But look at the colours around here. This is all to do with the colours of nature. And I think what it's asking you to do is to remind yourself that you really are part of nature and to take cues from nature. Here's also in the suit the 6 of discs. Let's have a look here. Yeah, well, what is, frankly, just another fantastic card and fantastic energy. I call it the Lord of Material Success. It is the moon ruling the second decan of Taurus. Now, the moon is also exalted in Taurus, which is a good sign, but the moon's transient nature means that success that you have could be short-lived. Well, when you think about it, that's not unusual because you don't have... Success isn't a continuum. You have a success and you have another success. This is the Lord of Material Success. The moon in the second decan of Taurus. Well, the moon likes nurturing and comfort, and Taurus likes material things. So they are well suited to bringing about material success. So I see success for you, generosity both ways, paying it forward. I think you could be receiving a financial boost. It's the possibility is there if you're applying for a scholarship at all, that scholarship may be approved, and if anybody is addressing anything to do with the welfare system, I think applications for welfare would also be there. So as far as it relates to your own mind and your circumstances, I think this is pointing towards a material success and financial prosperity, not to the level of Bill Gates, of course, but certainly compared to how things are going, these things are starting to move forward. There may be an opportunity to be involved in a profitable adventure, but it's a reminder for you to remember the successes in your life and to build on top of those. Very often we look at the next objective that we have and we think it's on top of a mountain, and we fail to realize that we're already standing on a mountain. You are already standing on a mountain, and that mountain is that of your experience and achievements to date. So rather than having to go uphill to achieve the objective, it may be downhill or just across the way. Great. I can't believe how good these cards are for you. Superb. Here we have, I like this girl, the Daughter of Feathers. What does she have to say for you? Let's have a look at it. You in focus? There you go. Look, I've got to say, I see a lot of you in her this month. I also see energy around here which relates to Pisces and also Capricorn, and so those people could also be important to you, or someone who's got a Capricorn or a Pisces ascendant. But I get a lot of Aquarius in here. Well, she's a young woman, so she's Earth, and she's in the suit of air. Now, earth and air are enemies in elemental dignitary rules, and so there is going to be an inherent conflict in her nature. But the implication of earth in air for me is that she is able to deal with situations involving the mind in a very tangible way. That is, she can manifest her thoughts and turn them into a reality. And I think that's what you're going to be able to do as well. Now, if it relates to somebody else, which it could do also, it may be someone who is in your life at the moment. And I think that, I'll just pull it out a little bit so you can see her in the context of the other cards, or a couple of them anyway, is that in some respects, these other people that may be there, kind of attract troubles and can be unhappy when it comes to practical and material matters. All the finer qualities of the feathers are weighed down and suffocated, and such people can appear to be children of misfortune. But this woman here, I think, can also actually be the type of person who can throw everything overboard and blow everything sky high, and in time it turns out that she has made the right decision. Her character is that she's very stern and revengeful, I think. And her now, beware of this, because her, and I am getting a feeling of you in this, so it's just something to be aware of. Her logic is destructive, and she is firm and aggressive, but she's got a great deal of practical wisdom and subtlety in material things. She shows great cleverness and dexterity in the management of all of her practical affairs and practical affairs in general. And in fact, if there's any arguments floating around, she's able to come in and settle them and sort things out for people. She is the princess of the rushing winds, the lotus of the palace of air. I think what it's saying for you is that you will be very clever in practical matters this month, especially you'll be very clever if there's any controversies around. I think just be careful about that destructive way of analyzing things and applying it in a destructive way. So just be aware that that could be a tendency to occur, and just to temper it down a bit. Now, as I say, she can be stern and revengeful and aggressive. Well, I'm not going to say anything further about that. Sometimes I think revenge is sweet. She's very forceful in her manner, and she's very outgoing, but she can get her ideas grounded in a very tangible way. I get the feeling with her that she's really fighting battles internally and externally, so be aware of that. And you could find yourself in a situation really this month, I think, where you find that you are following your heart, following a lifestyle, maybe even becoming an entrepreneur, thinking about, is there some sort of an internet business, small business, or ways of making extra money that you could set up. Yeah, I think that's something that you could well have in mind during this period. But of course, any such businesses aren't plain sailing, and it's in the suit of feathers, which can be difficult because the suit of feathers is the result of the union between the suits of fire and water, and so you get some conflict as a result of that. And so any such businesses, I don't need to tell you, won't be necessarily easy to get off the ground from the get-go. But she has a lot of energy with her. In particular, as I say, she's got a really good brain, and she has a really good way of demonstrating her use of that brain, and that is something for you. Now, here's something here which I didn't expect to see. I think you might be worried about something. Let's have a look at it. Now, this was coming into you from the past on this line here, and I'm glad to see that there's this nice red colour at the end. It's also got a good card following it as well. This Nine of Spades here for me, I think, is about you feeling in your mind from the past. You feel you're turning over in your mind thoughts of disappointment or unhappiness about how some things have turned out, about some loss that has occurred. I think that what's happening here is, because this is saying that there's going to be an ending of some kind. Now, with all these cards here talking about such fantastic energy of yours going forward, there's flames going everywhere, there's material wealth and success coming your way, there's something going to be left behind. And I think what it is going to be left behind is your thoughts of how you were back then rather than how you are going forward. I really think that's the interesting thing. This card can sometimes represent an unwelcome change, but the change, although it seems unwelcome at the time, may actually turn out to be really positive and a good thing for you. So don't be surprised if that type of scenario turns up. I also think that you're going to hear of somebody that's got an illness, and there is also circling around here, I've got the feeling of, it's not you, but you will hear of somebody who has sadly passed away. This is going to be in the next 12 months, I think. But again, as if to reinforce the very positive nature of this deck as it's drawn for you, this spread for you is this 10 of clubs, which is also talking about the end of a cycle, I think. So I really do see a lot of new beginnings here for you, and these other tarot cards have already talked about that. Look, this card can often represent traveling for business or social occasions, sometimes even overseas travel. It can represent someone attending a wedding. It certainly speaks of happiness, great happiness and good fortune, and it is a good omen for new beginnings. And I also say this, for those of you who may have an interest in it, there is the possibility here with this card of a new love interest. Again, focus. That takes us finally to this great energy that's here at the end of this line. So I'm glad to see it at the end of the line, which is this Six of Hearts. Well, the six, you see, for me in this context is about transitioning. It's about leaving the past behind. It's about new things being undertaken. It represents the bringing of peace and harmony into everyday affairs. And it can sometimes represent the compromising of you compromising and being willing to accommodate others. Again, I've got to say, a new relationship can begin when this card begins, but it is true. It's certainly saying that it is a time now to overcome obstacles and move towards your goal. But then everything else that we've been speaking about is saying this. I think it's saying also that people may want to confide in you during this time. But beware of people taking advantage of your good heart. I think it also can foretell of, of course, in a personal reading with me, the playing cards I use as windows through which the psychic clairvoyant or the clairvoyant information comes through. But this can, in a general spread like this, it can also represent a sudden wave of unexpected good luck. And why wouldn't you have that? That's the way it is for you this month. Well, there you go. It looks like it's going to be an absolutely fantastic month for you, and that's great because you deserve it. And I have to say, you were fantastic during that reading. All that remains for me to say is this, and remember it always, that you are a legend, and I look forward to seeing you again next month. Until then, bye for now.